to Saturday night in the SEC. Tonight, Nick Chubb is back.
Nick Chubb, eyes on the end zone. Welcome back, Nick Chubb.
One of the nation's best running backs leads the Georgia Bulldogs into their first SEC game under Kirby Smart.
Lock, time to go deep, taking his shot. Touchdown Tigers.
Drew Lock and Missouri shifted their offense into a higher gear last week. And they get Barry Odom his first SEC win as the Tigers head coach. You are looking live at Memorial Stadium in Columbia, Missouri. An SEC opener for both Missouri and Georgia. Two first-year coaches. Two promising young quarterbacks. The Tigers and the Dogs on SEC Saturday night. Buckle up, everybody. Here we go. Welcome with Jesse Palmer. I'm Brett Musburger. A year ago, it was 9-6 in Athens. This is going to be a much higher scoring game. Let's start with the Georgia Bulldogs, partner.
And they've got a first-year head coach in Kirby Smart. Probably the splash hire this offseason in college football. Was on everyone's radar after winning 4 national championships at Alabama as their D coordinator. And here he is in his 3rd game, and he's already has a quarterback controversy. And tonight, I think we're going to see both guys. We're going to see Grayson Lambert and the true freshman Jacob Eason. But I think Jacob Eason has earned the right to start tonight. I thought he gave this offense a spark week 1 against UNC, but it's his arm strength and the ability and willingness to take shots deep down the field that I think excites this coaching staff and this team and their fan base. I think through 2 games, he's done a good job managing 3rd downs in the blitz, but that big arm gives them the identity they want. They want to run the ball with Nick Chubb and take shots down the field.
There's a buzz about Mizzou, because it's now a high-octane offense that Drew Lock is operating under the leadership of Josh Heupel. And here come the Tigers. So, Jesse, what do we make of what Drew Lock is doing in really his 2nd year as quarterback?
Yeah, true sophomore, but he's got skills, Brent, that you just can't coach. He's 6'4", 220 pounds. He can move well for a big guy, but his arm talent is just off the charts. And here's some examples from week 1 against West Virginia. He's got his slot receiver, Amari Black, running a post route. Look at the velocity on the throw, fitting it in between 3 defenders. It's tremendous. Later in the game, they have a very similar play. Amari Black playing the slot, trying to run the post. It's covered, so now Drew Lock's able to use the legs, extend the play, running to his left, throwing back across his body a 36-yard rope in between 4 defenders. It's tremendous. Now, Lock's coming off the best game of his career. Threw for 450 yards, 5 TDs against Eastern Michigan. He's got to have another big night here tonight if Missouri's going to get the win against the Bulldogs here.
Yeah, absolutely. And for more on Drew, let's go down now to the 3rd member of our team, Kaylee Hartar. Kaylee.
Hey there, Brent. Well, Drew Lock appeared in every game Mizzou played last season, and he started in 8 of them. And yet his new offensive coordinator, Josh Heupel, says coaching a sophomore is more like coaching a freshman, because Drew Lock admittedly says he didn't understand how to read defenses last year. Last year he did what he did in high school, and that was rely on his athletic ability in an effort to get the job done. But Heupel has taught him he can't just try to be the best athlete out there if he wants to be successful. He has got to outsmart the defense that he is facing. Heupel, Lock says, has taught him how to be a quarterback, not just an athlete.
Coach Kirby Smart is looking for his offensive line and his offense to bounce back here. But he's accustomed to big, strong offensive and defensive lines when he worked for Nick Saban over at Alabama. And like I said, there's a buzz in the air from Mizzou. And you can see how they arrange the colors, the black and the gold, and the Tigers are ready to go. Crockett and Johnson are back deep for Mizzou. Blankenship will kick it away for the Dogs. Returnable from the 4 by Johnson. He is so exciting. And here comes young Drew Lock.
And he got thrown into the fire last year with 8 starts. And as Kaylee mentioned, didn't really know the offense, didn't know how to read coverages, and the numbers and statistics certainly demonstrate that. But what a difference one offseason makes. This year, he's bigger. He's playing more confidently. He's playing with a sense of urgency. And he's been lights out, I think, through 2 games. He really gives this coaching staff a reason for optimism, because with that arm talent, he can push the ball down the field, and he really seems to have a comfort in Josh Heupel's new scheme.
Here comes Witter with the first carry up behind the middle of that offensive line. Pendleton, Bailey, and Ablin. The one things we're going to see now, we're going to see Mizzou go to tempo. Josh Heupel works the sideline, not up in the box, and they really pick it up now. Second down, we did not see this last year. Snap, and that is complete. And that to Kendall Blanton.
They had 100 snaps against West Virginia, 78 snaps against Eastern Michigan. They're going to try and wear down this Georgia defense. Look how quickly Lock has him back up on the line of scrimmage.
Near midfield with this initial first down. Remember, they won the toss and didn't defer. Great fake and incomplete to Jamon Moore as we check out our starting lineups, brought to you by Hardee's. And again, I want to highlight Jonathan Johnson. He did not play last year because of an injury in training camp in August. Scored twice against Eastern Michigan on a punt return and an 84-yard reception. So keep an eye out for number 12. Play action again, coming back to the tight end. This time it is Culkin. A very big part of Heupel's offense.
And he's a guy that they missed last week against Eastern Michigan with a foot injury. But you notice how quickly Drew Lock is able to get the ball out in these quick passes. It's remarkable.
Ball on the Dogs' 44-yard line, and they come back, batter right straight ahead. Samson Bailey, the new center for them, along with Ablin and Pendleton. Pendleton very consistent at left guard, and they're able to open that hole up for another first down there at the Dog 40-yard line. There's that great play action, frees the linebackers going deep and out of bounds. More the intended target as we take a look now at the Georgia defense. And as all you Dog fans know back home, there's a transfer from Alabama. Number 2. Took a while, took a little controversy, but he's a good one. So it is second down and 10 now. Lock throwing in underneath to Witter. Witter with another first down. How about this Tiger offense to start the game, Jesse?
Yeah, they do a really nice job just sneaking Ish Witter out of the backfield on a crossing route. They caught the Georgia Bulldogs in a blitz. Big first down early for the Tigers.
Alabama prevails in Oxford, Mississippi. Alabama beats Ole Miss. That game is now final. We welcome those of you who watched the end of it. You're watching Missouri's first possession. That's Jamon Moore again. And they have moved right down the field on this Georgia defense. And quickly, second down. Josh Heupel, the new offensive coordinator, wants to run tempo, and he's got it going.
This is a good challenge for this Missouri offensive line. They have not been a great red zone offense early this year because they haven't been physical enough up front. The passing windows are small here. You got to be able to run the ball.
Play action, middle, touchdown, Mizzou! Jason Reese, another of the talented tight ends, hits all 3 of them, and Jason Reese scores first. Only a genius would know that he was going to be the first to score. Jesse, my boy.
It's completely obvious, Brent, especially when you watch the film and where this guy shows up. But they had success on that last running play. They went tempo really quickly, were able to go play action, and they got the middle linebacker, Natrez Patrick, to suck up on the play fake and a wide open tight end.
If you're a Dog fan, there's reason to be uneasy. You came into this game favored, but Missouri wins the toss. They don't defer. They take the ball, and they carved up the defense. 10 plays, 72 yards, 2 minutes. An excited Missouri offense, and with good reason. Jesse, let's take another look at that TD.
Yeah, the Bulldogs got caught with play action. You're going to see Jason Reese lined up right here at tight end. They're going to fake the handoff here. Natrez Patrick bites on it. There's nobody in the back end, and an easy throw for Drew Lock. The tempo, messing with the eye discipline of the Georgia Bulldogs defensively on that first series. It's about as good of a start as you could have hoped for your first-year head coach, Barry Odom from Mizzou.
Tucker McCann, the freshman, will kick it away. Reggie Davis standing back in the end zone for Georgia. He's coming out. Got an edge on the right side. Good return to the 31-yard line. And so Jacob Eason, as we were told last night by Kirby Smart, would be his starting quarterback. And here he is.
Yeah, really excited about his talent and his potential. You can see why he was rated the #1 pocket passing prospect coming out of high school. 6'5", 235, moves well for a big guy, but it's the arm talent and the confidence in his arm. He will try to fit the football into small windows tonight.
Sony Michel gets the start, and not Chubb. Back, fire complete, and that is to Michel. That was why he was out there.
Well, Michel had a left forearm injury in an ATV accident this past summer that limited him early. Only had 5 touches last week against Nichols, but that's going to go up tonight. He's a guy that they like to throw the football to. They'll get him in space. They're going to use a lot of different running backs tonight.
Second down, and number 27 appears here for second down. Nick Chubb, the junior, coming back from major knee surgery. It's so great to see him. Outstanding young man. 2nd and 3. Gets his first carry, got the edge for a first down run as we take a look at our Georgia starting lineup, brought to you by Hardee's. Nick Chubb, like I said, was held to 80 yards, but because of the explosion against North Carolina, he already has 302 yards and 3 touchdowns on the season.
Of course, had that awful knee injury a year ago against Tennessee. Brent, watching him on film, I think he looks stronger to me now than he did last season when he was healthy.
That's McKenzie in motion. Came around, and terrific defense that time by Mizzou's Thomas Wilson. The safety came up and made a great stop.
Yeah, his secondary is going to be under a lot of stress tonight, having to make tackles in the open field on the perimeter against some of these receivers from Georgia. Isaiah McKenzie, Terry Godwin. This offense, they like to get these little guys the ball in space. Nice job with the open field tackle there.
Second down and 13. Nowhere for 27. No daylight.
The guy you got to keep your eye on now on these third down and obvious passing situations is number 91, Charles Harris for Missouri at defensive end. He's considered by many to be the next great pass rusher they've got. He's got a tremendous first step off the ball, and he's a guy that, with his quickness, can be very disruptive, especially with this crowd noise at home.
They'll move him around. He's going to get down on the right side. He's number 91 right there. And obviously, Georgia's well aware of how good he is. Eason's back. Fires, good arm, but short of the first down. So that pass was complete to Terry Godwin, number 5, his first catch of the night. Here comes the punt team onto the field for the Dogs. Marshall Long, freshman from China Grove, North Carolina, will punt it for the first time, and our man Jonathan Johnson is back deep. So they've got to be very careful with this coverage team with Johnson back now. He's standing on the Mizzou 10-yard line. High, beautiful punt. Johnson trying to let go in the end zone, and it does. Touchback. Good decision also back there by the young man. So Drew Lock, a 2-minute touchdown drive, and he's about to come back for his second possession when you return. Freezing the linebacker. Got a man open. Here comes Moore to the 21-yard line.
Drew Lock got the matchup he wanted. Georgia's secondary double covered the slot receiver and left Moore isolated one-on-one on the outside, and a great route, able to turn Juwan Briscoe completely around.
48 yards. Ish Witter comes right back. Lock here, folks, is 8 of 10 to start this game for 126 yards and a touchdown pass that was thrown to Reese, one of his tight ends. Running tempo, obviously understanding what Josh Heupel wants called. 2nd and 8, pump fake, and drops it off underneath. Fooled everybody with his pump fake on that, and more.
And I think that's one Drew Lock actually missed. It looked like he had his tight end Sean Culkin wide open down the seam.
Brings up a 3rd down. They need 5. Pocket hold deflected, could be incomplete. You see a ball go up like that, you think that one of those rascals in the secondary for the Dogs can pick it off.
Here's the issue with the field goal unit for Missouri, Brent, is their kicker Tucker McCann. He missed a 24-yarder and a 42-yarder against West Virginia a few weeks ago, and the kicking situation kind of up in the air. They're playing 2 different kickers. Each guy missed some extra points already early this year, so this isn't necessarily a gimme.
So obviously the Georgia coach is well aware of the misses against the Mountaineers, and here comes a 33-yard attempt from the left hash. The gamble did not pay off. They could have moved him back 15 yards for that 3rd down. Instead, he converts, and it becomes 10-0. Josh Heupel's offense, I'm telling you, if you're a Mizzou fan in Kansas City or St. Louis, come on over. I know in Kansas City you got the Chiefs, in St. Louis you no longer got the Rams, so this is your team, folks, and it's exciting. He's here and very active and raising funds for the university. Terrific guy. That Reggie Davis will take a knee in the end zone, and it'll come out now. So we take a look at the Missouri Tigers defense, brought to you by Hardee's, and the fella that Jesse Palmer told you about, number 91, Charles Harris. Keep an eye on him. Those of you who study Mel Kiper's big board, he is one of the early names on that board. NFL taking a long look at this fella. Ball on the Dogs' 35-yard line. Christian Payne is the fullback in this power I look. They'll run Chubb behind him, and he is hit first in the backfield by Newsome. So the linebacker came up, Donovan Newsome, and made the initial contact.
Yeah, he's a very physical player. At 6'2", 240 pounds. Right up top, he's just kind of slanting right in. Beats a chip block there by the right tackle, Greg Pike. A good job at another open field tackle on a guy that's not easy to bring down by yourself. If you've ever stood beside Nick Chubb and seen how big his legs are, you'll appreciate how hard that was to do for Donovan Newsome.
Michelle checks back in on 2nd and 7. Throws a good block, but it is incomplete. So Sony Michel gave the quarterback a little extra protection, but then he missed another freshman, Warner, with the pass. Watch this block. Third down and 7 for the Dogs.
So important with this crowd noise now for this O-line to communicate, find out which way they're sliding. Charles Harris back now over the left tackle.
Stands tall, and a beautiful strike to McKenzie. Breaks a tackle, spins to the 31-yard line. I got to tell you something, folks. Jacob Eason was so calm for a freshman that time, breathing fire, and he threw this strike.
And having a plan and understanding where Isaiah McKenzie is in the slot. That time Missouri blitzed. They left the middle of the field completely open, and just calm, composed, poised decision by a true freshman quarterback.
You're going to like that one for 31 yards. Chubb now returns. And again, they pound away. Good football team. Never, ever gives up on the run. Jim Chaney, veteran, is the offensive coordinator up in the booth calling the plays for these Georgia Bulldogs. And I go back with Jim Chaney, back to his days with Joe Tiller and Drew Brees at Purdue. And Jim Chaney was the offensive coordinator. He's a good one. Likes to throw the ball a lot. 2nd down and 7. Now Michel comes back in. Good receiver. Leaves the backfield. Eason goes long and incomplete. Had a couple of receivers down in the end zone that time. Warner was one of them, the tight end.
All right, so on the last 2 third downs, Jacob Eason's been trying to work his slot receivers over the middle of the field. Missouri's tried to come after him. They've sat back and played big zone coverages. But that middle of the field is where Jacob Eason really has done a nice job attacking here on these critical downs and distances.
So Chubb checks back in on 3rd down and 7. Eason fires 1st down into the red zone. That's Reggie Davis's first catch. Another good throw by Eason.
But I love the game plan over here. They're setting up Nick Chubb to the side where the left tackle is to help out on number 91, Charles Harris. You see that? There's not a lot of defensive ends that have the strength to get around Nick Chubb. That's impressive. And again, a bullet to the outside. That time, Reggie Davis.
Chubb back in that backfield. Coming around with Michel, who is also, and he is out of bounds across the 15-yard line. So using them both together, we've seen a lot of number 1 already here tonight.
Well, there's a lot of different ways that Georgia can attack you in the running game. They can do it conventionally, handing off to these backs, but they've got guys like Sony Michel and Isaiah McKenzie and Terry Godwin that can come in jet sweeps and reverses. You really have to have your eyes in the right place if you're Missouri defensively tonight.
Eason changes up as he looks at the defense. Toss to Chubb. Chubb on the short side, battled for about a yard. Shearer, another stop.
This is an area of the field where you would love your outside receivers with their size to be able to make a play in one-on-one situations. And that's the part of this offense. They just haven't had the production that they've desired yet. A lot of their big plays in the passing game have come from those slot players, Isaiah McKenzie and Terry Godwin, but guys like Reggie Davis, Michael Chigbu, Jason Stanley outside. Got to be able to step up and make plays here too.
That's Chigbu going through the motion, number 82. Play action, stands tall, hits his fullback, Christian Payne. They were not expecting, with all those receivers out there, they did not expect Christian Payne to slip out. That's one of Chaney's favorites.
And I really like Christian Payne. This guy is probably one of the best lead blockers in college football. He was actually their player of the game week 1 against UNC, opening up holes for Nick Chubb. And what a tool to have when you have a guy that can't just block, he can also be a weapon in passing situations.
1st down and goal. Bring the end around. The exciting McKenzie scores. So, folks, a year ago in Athens, these two teams put a total of 15 points on the board. Tonight, in the 1st quarter, we have 16, pending 17. That's Chaney right there, who was calling the plays. I thought that Jim was going to be upstairs, but he was not. He's down on the field. That was him chatting with Kirby over there on the sideline. A good-looking drive led by a freshman quarterback. And here's William Ham. Like we said at the top, we'll have more points in this matchup than we had last year in Athens. What an exciting player McKenzie is. Doug fans gotta love him. What does Uga think of this touchdown? Well, this Missouri wrestling team is led by a senior, Jaden Cox. He won a bronze medal in the freestyle wrestling at the Rio Olympics. There he is with head coach Brian Smith. They've won 5 straight conference titles. Big 12, 2012, and then they came in 2013 through 16, and they won the MAC. But folks, that's just part of the story. Wait till you hear a clip of this young man singing the national anthem before the start of tonight's game. One of the finest anthems we've heard in a long, long time. So besides being a wrestler, that youngster's got a heck of a voice. Coming out is Johnson, the electric one. And not a good decision, but there is a penalty flag thrown back by the 5-yard line. Crockett is in as the running back. So the freshman, Damaria Crockett, gets his first carry of the game. He's 5'11", 220.
And obviously it's going to be important Missouri runs the ball as well to have a little bit of balance. It just can't be Drew Lock spinning it every play.
On second down, Lock spun it on that play and more. Out of bounds, just shy of a first down. Third down, Crockett barging straight ahead. David Marshall, a freshman linebacker, at the point of attack with that. I don't think the crowd liked the spot on that ball.
Impressive job by this Georgia defense after their offense marches down the field and scores to force a 3-and-out now. Get the ball back with good field possession. Try and see some of this momentum here on the road.
Here just is one of the best punters in the country. Corey Fatoni, a sophomore from Franklin, Tennessee. And it's going to roll dead across the 40-yard line. So we'll take a break. 1:52 remaining in the opening quarter. Missouri leads Georgia 10-7. So young Eason, who was so impressive on that scoring drive for the Dogs, comes out now. Good field position. They'll start the ball on their own 39. And they run a power play with Chubb.
And you see, Brent, Georgia's condensing the field a lot early here. They're bringing their receiver in tight. They're trying to get Missouri to bunch up in the middle of the field, and they're faking these reverses after the handoffs. I wouldn't be shocked if later in this game they try one of those reverses, see if they can outflank the Tigers.
That's the end
Cheney
of the
is ready. His time is running out here on the first quarter. He knew it. Already looking ahead. So it was Drew Lock and Mizzou striking first. They led 10-0 before Isaiah McKenzie scored for the Dog. Into the first quarter, 17 points. A shootout. Jacob Eason and Georgia with the ball. Complete. And that was to Michael Chigbu, his first reception.
Yeah, this Georgia offense has a good plan for Charles Harris. There's another double team you're going to see on the right-hand side of your screen. Nick Chubb, 27, is going to help out the tackle again, get a little chip block on the shoulder of Missouri's best pass rusher. And that, again, gives Jacob Eason the time.
10 of 13 for Eason, 89 yards. Great size, 6'5". 235. Reminds folks of Stafford, doesn't he? Play action from Eason off the first down, incomplete. Good coverage on that play by number 38 Beisel, Eric Beisel, a linebacker.
I kind of like the play calling here for Georgia offensively by offensive coordinator Jim Chaney, and you know, letting Eason throw it on first down, trying not to be predictable. Hey, we're just going to run with Chubb first and second and let Eason throw on third. You got to try and keep Missouri's defense off balance. Try to help get your freshman quarterback in a rhythm.
Freezing the backers, firing into the middle. First and goal, Terry Godwin.
I don't think Isaiah McKenzie and Terry Godwin can touch the ball enough tonight for the Georgia Bulldogs. Terry Godwin, a guy that can play outside, he can play inside. This time he was lined up outside, and just tremendous quickness beating the corner on the in cut to an open zone, and that's where Jacob Eason's been finding his success, over the middle of the field.
20-yard gain Like we said, Jim Chaney loves to throw the ball. Now it's 1st and goal, power run situation, and he's going to throw again. Got an open man, touchdown, Payne. Christian Payne, the junior from Athens, went to Prince Avenue Christian. And how about Jim Chaney? Just airing it out right now with his freshman quarterback. And what a future he's got ahead of him.
Well, it's an awesome job on the progression by Grayson Lambert. His first read is Christian Payne in the flat. He's covered right now. It's not open. So he works to the tight end. When that's not open, the third read in the progression on that play is back to the fullback in the flat. A nice job of the true freshman quarterback not panicking, throwing it away, just trusting his reads.
So William Hand tacks on the extra point. Georgia leads it for the first time. And remember what kept that drive alive, okay? It was that penalty. Too many men on the field. A costly mistake. Dogs up 4. What a beautiful night in Columbia, Missouri. Exciting football game. Mizzou jumped out to a 10-point lead. Dogs have rallied. There's Payne, the fullback, who caught that touchdown pass for Kirby. So Georgia will kick it away. And remember, Jonathan Johnson gambled the last time and came out and was stopped, and then there was a penalty that backed him up. So he's back there with Crockett. Shorter kickoff in this direction into a little breeze. Johnson again. Johnson, with that great speed, makes up for it. Out to that 44. What a great return, Jess.
Yeah, of course, he had a 54-yard punt return score against Eastern Michigan last week. This guy, very, very dangerous in the open field. They make this look like they're trying to set it up right up the middle. They get a lot of great blocks downfield, and there's so many young players on this Missouri team that have quickness and speed. They scare you to death, not just on offense, but in the return game as well.
Well, let's see if Josh Heupel and Drew Lock can reignite this offense. What's so sharp. Here's Lock, who had good protection. Wide open block this time. Chris Black makes up for his gaffe earlier inside the 25-yard line.
And you see the arm talent by Lock. I mean, just an absolute laser on this post throw. There's Black again in the slot. This just zips past the defender.
Penalty flag as Heupel and Mizzou went back to the tempo.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Now tempoed themselves.
Yeah, it's important to remember this is all new to this offense as well, with Josh Heupel as the new offensive coordinator. But these guys got to know, in this offense, anytime there's an explosive play, Josh Heupel wants them sprinting to the line to go quick and avoid a substitution by the defense.
Running play going nowhere against this dog front.
Yeah, it's a young offensive line that only returned 3 starts from last year, the fewest in the country. They're not the most physical line in the nation just yet. These guys are all learning how to communicate and figure this thing out. Only in game 3, they've got their hands full with a very athletic front 7 from Georgia.
You know, there's 5 penalties already against Missouri and none against Georgia. And those penalties have really hurt Missouri.
Yeah, they come at key times, haven't they?
It's second down on the play. Second down.
Now they reset the play clock to 25. Second down and 14. There's 4 receivers out wide for Lock. Defensive pressure coming. And that was a well set up screen pass to Witter. And the defense did a good job.
Yeah,
they read it. They left a man there, even though they brought pressure. But they had that well defended, I thought, on that play.
Now Georgia able to substitute and get speed on the field for a pass rush scenario. But it seems like Black, number 1, he's up here in the slot. He's been the guy that Drew Lock's been going to in these scenarios too.
Incomplete, and that brings up 4th down.
Kind of in that that no man's land right now if you're Barry Odom at head coach. Because you're too close to punt it. You're probably too far away to try a field goal. They're going to kick it now, I think.
Now they've sent him out. So after the timeout was called, they do send Tucker McCann out.
He's got a great leg, Brent. 10 for 10 on touchbacks last week.
So why the hesitation with a leg like that, eh?
He's out of our pay grade.
Why waste a timeout? Come on, coach. Kick him. It's a 1-point game. 14-13.
And the home of the brave.
And there is Jaden Cox, who won a bronze medal in freestyle wrestling here on the Missouri wrestling team with a splendid rendition of the national anthem. And what I want to know is if that's going to receive as much attention. A medal winner from the Olympics singing the anthem that well. Is that going to receive as much attention as the protesters in the National Football League have received? We're watching this week. Taking a knee, and Kaylee is down below with Jaden Cox. Take it away, Kaylee.
Well, Jaden, before we talk about that bronze medal, when did you discover your musical talent? Because that was a fantastic rendition of the national anthem.
No, I found that out young. Most of my family is very musical. We love music. That rendition was my mom's actually version of it, so I enjoyed singing it. And I was actually hoping she'd be able to sing it with me here, but you know, just getting to perform it, she was here. You know, hopefully I just did just enough job for everybody, and you know, did it well.
We'll get back to you right after this play.
Coming right back down to you, Kaylee. Jacob Eason going to run Chubb on first down. He's to the 30, and let's return to Kaylee.
Jaden, what is life like back in Columbia, Missouri, with a bronze medal to your name?
Well, you know, I have to go to classes, and I have to still go through as a normal student. I just get asked for a lot more pictures than other people normally do. And as I was telling you, you know, I got to make sure the hair is good. I got to brush the teeth. I got to make sure everything's well. There's not a lazy day I can have anymore. You never know what's going to pop up. But no, I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. The support, just knowing people care about what I've done, and you know, it's amazing. So I'm really appreciative of it.
That pass is to Payne. As we go back, and Kaylee, I understand there's a little gridiron story ahead for us from him.
There could be, Brent. Now, you have said once your wrestling eligibility is done this spring, you know, you've already got 2 NCAA titles to your name, that you could be interested in joining the football team. Have you and Coach Odom had conversations?
Yes, ma'am. We've had conversations. I still need to check up with him, but, you know, I've been focusing on this coming season. You know, as people know, I've had surgery, so I'm rehabbing that. But I would love to play football after I get done with my last year of eligibility for the wrestling. I want to hit somebody. I don't know where I'll fit in. I just like hitting people. I like hitting stuff. I'm known as a defensive player, so I just want to hit something.
2-time All-State linebacker in the state, I hear.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Congratulations on your great accomplishments.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Great job by that young man at Rio, and tonight with the national anthem. We see Davis working deep here.
Ooh,
they could have thrown a flag on
I think they probably should have. That was a throw Jacob Eason missed. He had Reggie Davis wide open on the post. He ran right by John Gibson at corner. I think John Gibson grabbed him by that shoulder. I think that should have been PI.
Here's Michelle. Stopped by Terry Beckner, another of their outstanding defensive linemen. Beckner, number 79, is a sophomore out of East St. Louis.
Yeah, and he's a talent. He was the number 2 overall high school prospect coming out last year. Had an ACL injury at the end of last season, but he looks like he's almost back to full health now. They need him to step up. A 3rd down. They have not been able to get Georgia off the field in these situations. Easton right now 6 for 6 passing on this down. Where is the pass rush?
On 3rd and 9, Eason moves, deflected, incomplete, and they stopped them that time. Godwin, the intended target, But the Mizzou defense stood tall, and that brings up a 4th and 9.
Well, it was pressure, and it was Thomas Wilson at safety coming off the edge that forced Eason to flush to his right. A nice job by the cornerback, 11, Penton right there, reading the eyes of Jacob Eason, getting involved, breaking that pass play up that was intended for Terry Godwin.
Jonathan Johnson will go back to return this Marshall long punt. There is number 12 standing on the 10-yard line. We've seen his speed tonight in returning kickoffs. He signals for the fair catch and makes it up at the 14-yard line. 1st down and 10 now. Crockett, the freshman, will try his hand at running back. 220 pounds, a little bit bigger, obviously, than Witter. Play action to him, and Lock fires complete to Moore in a foot race. 30, 20, score it. 79 yards. Mizzou regains the lead.
And just another phenomenal example of the arm talent Drew Lock possesses. I mean, this was a ridiculously small window to throw into with Moore on the slant. He had the safety Dominic Sanders bearing down on it, but there's just no substitute. And you've got a gun like Drew Lock has, and he just gives your offense opportunities to make plays that you otherwise can't make if you don't have a quarterback that has his skill set.
Seeing that swinging gait and bluffing the 2-point reminds me today, Nebraska beat Oregon by 3 points. But you've got to read about the 2-point conversion attempts by Oregon that failed. Big story in that game. McCann. And it's a 6-point advantage. Drew Lock from Lee's Summit. Kirby Smart working with his defense.
Let's go back and take a look at that touchdown pass. Drew Lock's loving it. He's feeling himself in the zone right now. Barry Odom, head coach, has to be happy. I mean, there's a safety bearing down on a slant. There's a lot of quarterbacks that wouldn't even try to fit that in there. But Jaron Moore on the outside doing a phenomenal job with his route. Watch this, just the quickness to beat him inside. They have so many young but talented players on the perimeter of the field. When you look at guys like Jamon Moore and Emmanuel Hall, Jonathan Johnson, Ray Wingo, their speed scares you to death.
Moving west to east, a little bit more of a breeze. And as a result, a touchback. 1st down and 10. Eason fires, deflected, incomplete. It was a little short,
yeah,
and Penton was there.
It's the 2nd time he's been short throwing to Reggie Davis. I thought on that play he had 2 outside receivers. Terry Godwin had one on his route outside as well. Eason can just put a little bit more air under that ball. That's a touchdown for Georgia. And this is really what Eason's supposed to do really well. The reason I think this coaching staff likes him and the potential is that big arm. Quick huddle here. You got to watch the play action, the fullback in the flat. That's where they've been going this game.
14-24 he is for 145, and there it is. You called it, Jess. You saw that Payne was going to slip out into that flat. Just what he did. Yeah,
they're using him a lot. They're doing a nice job. They haven't shown this as much this year. In the first 2 games, he was primarily a lead blocker. Now tonight, using him as a pass catcher. And here's a critical 3rd down. No Charles Harris on the field right now for Missouri.
Chubb, the running back. Going to try to throw for it, and they do. Gave it up, McKenzie, and then he got it back, plus some, out to the 49. His first move, I thought he might give the 1st down out, but he was just looking for a little running room.
And I like the design by Jim Chaney, their offensive coordinator. They use the motion. You see him, he's going to go across. Nobody's following him. So now Jacob Eason knows, all right, it's zone coverage. So now I need my slot receiver to sit down in a soft spot. That's what McKenzie was able to do. And again, human joystick.
Couple yards shy of midfield, plenty of time left. Georgia with 2 timeouts. Steps up in the pocket beautifully on that far side to Godwin.
And there's the confidence in his arm strength by Jacob Eason. We talked about his belief that he can fit the football in a very, very small windows. There's going to be a go route down the sideline in between a corner and a safety. While it didn't look pretty, the result was exactly what Jacob Eason wanted.
Just shy of the 20-yard line. Chaney keeps on throwing, and why not? McKenzie, his second touchdown of the game.
You're seeing the future in the SEC at the quarterback position tonight. Two gunslingers, Drew Lock and Jacob Eason, just trading punches right now. McKenzie in the slot, working the post. Eason delivers an NFL caliber throw.
And Georgia regains the lead, just 21-20 on the McKenzie reception. He ran one in earlier. So Georgia leads it. Here's Barry Odom huddling the players up before they leave. And Kaylee, meanwhile, is with Kirby Smart. Let's go to Kaylee.
Well, Coach, you told us you didn't think a hostile road environment would affect your young quarterback. How has Jacob Eason managed it?
Well, he's managing the crowd well. I'm proud of him for standing in the pocket, stepping up in the pocket. They got some good edge rushers. He's doing a good job. We got to be able to run the ball a little better.
Now, we've seen you engaged with your defense. What's been most frustrating for that unit?
Well, the big plays. You know, we want to make them drive it through, and we've gave a couple big plays up, and that's the most frustrating thing. Miscommunication. They're doing a good job changing it up. We got to do a better job.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kaylee. And so Barry communicating with his players. Georgia has been unable to run the ball. They've gained only 31 yards. Let's go to Dari Noka now with the Regions Bank halftime report. And it's 21-20. Georgia leading Missouri at the intermission. Kaylee Hartung caught up with Missouri head coach Barry Odom.
Well, Coach, what did you say to your guys before you even left the field for the half?
Well, wanted to always gather up, and we've done some really good things, but let's put that one to rest and go play the next snap. So we live on that, on good, bad, or ugly, put that one behind you and go play the next play.
What did allow Drew Lock's success in that first half that you hope does carry over to the second?
Well, he's got time to throw the ball. Receivers are running pretty good routes. He's got slowing down for him a little bit, so hopefully we can pick up where we left off.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Here we go. Georgia will have the ball first to start the second half in this one-point game. SEC opener for both teams. Reggie Davis will take a knee. The two quarterbacks have been spectacular. A total of 4 touchdowns, but what is perhaps even more impressive than all that, not a single interception from either of these youngsters here tonight. It has been a shootout.
And the Missouri plan defensively is pretty obvious. They're going to try and make Jacob Eason beat them. Loading the box, trying to get that extra defender to take away Nick Chubb and just see if this true freshman can deliver.
Here he comes on first down for Chaney, fired behind the receiver, not quite yet on the same page here.
Well, you
we
just
start the second half, and for Eason, he's thrown it now 29.
Yeah, you just think Nick Chubb, though, he's too good of a player. You have to put the ball in his hands, and you have to find creative ways to get him the football. It might not always be then between the tackles, but swinging him outside, getting him on the perimeter. He's one of the most dangerous offensive players in the nation right now. He's being bottled up for less than 3 yards a carry.
McKenzie, and that time they were ready for that end around, worked for a touchdown. Big Charles Harris was there with A.J. Logan. Not on my watch, says 91.
And this is a defense that since the beginning of 2013 has led the SEC in sacks. They normally thrive in these situations. You see Damani Cross, their new first-year defensive coordinator.
Came from TCU.
Yeah, Gary Patterson disciple. They know about some pass rushers down that way as well. And again, Charles Harris, he's been the answer. And right now, Georgia has their running back. Looks like Nick Chubb up here playing to the side where Charles Harris might be coming.
Need 10 yards on this third down. And they're going to whistle up the pass. Intercepted. 20-yard line. Hilton cuts back inside the 10. First and goal on the interception by the sophomore from Webster Groves High School in St. Louis, Mo.
And Cam Hilton from his safety position just read the eyes, and Jacob Eason took him exactly where he was going. Comes all the way from across the field to cut in front of Isaiah McKenzie on the in cut. And this Cam Hilton, he's got good hands. Remember, he played receiver last year. He's a dangerous guy in a turnover scenario because with his open field running ability, simply dangerous. There's the first mistake we see from Georgia's true freshman quarterback.
So Drew Lock now brings Missouri out for a first and goal. Ish Witter, number 21, is the running back alongside. Play action, touchdown, Moore. It did not take Josh Heupel much time to whistle up a first down pass on first and goal.
Georgia Bulldogs right now do not have an answer for Jamon Moore on the outside. He is winning his one-on-one matchups.
Tucker McCann on here for the extra point as Drew Lock has now thrown 3 touchdown passes and thrown for 328 yards. Jake Brents puts it down on its way. Missouri regains the lead. Now it's Georgia's turn again. The key, obviously, the interception. And Hilton, as Jesse told you, read the eyes perfectly. Then Lock on first down, went airborne. It's 27-21. Dogs' turn here in Columbia. He's from Lee's Summit, Missouri. Lee's Summit High School. Very highly recruited, but forced in under fire because of the problems with Matty Mock. And it was a tough season. 4 touchdowns against 8 interceptions. And then a sophomore now, knowing much more about the position because of the hands-on work by Josh Heupel, who was an outstanding quarterback for Bob Stoops down at Oklahoma, transferred in from Weber State and did a fabulous job with the Sooners. Hands-on all the way, and you can see some of the results here tonight as the touchback will bring it out now. But they've sent Michelle in for now. First down and 10. So it's Sony Michel to daylight. Strong first down run. Wilson finally makes the stop. That's one of their best first down runs of the night.
Well, they got a great drive block by Isaiah Wynn, number 77, the right guard, kind of pulling around. He gets a block there on Terry Beckner. That's probably the best I've seen Georgia fire off the ball tonight.
And now Chubb comes in with second down and 1. Eason flushed out to the right and throws incomplete. His receiver was covered. That was tight end Jackson Harris who was working there, and there was pressure coming from Marcel Frazier.
And again, this not a gimme. 3rd and short against this front for Missouri. And Georgia's tried to go big and get big bodies. Missouri's been there to answer the challenge. Lots of receivers in the formation in the huddle right now for Georgia. Another quick huddle.
Chubb, the running back, gets the call. The front pushing him back, but I think he got it.
And he barely, if he did, barely got it. Josh Augusta, big number 97, all 360 pounds of him at nose guard. He forced Nick Chubb to cut this football back, and that's where the pursuit from Terry Beckner and everybody else came. Missouri's got big dudes that are like cats. These guys can fly around in a quick area. Damani Cross right there, defensive coordinator. He's got some talent up front. But to your point earlier, Brent, when does Missouri not?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And what a fine young coach Cross is. Doing a terrific job with this defense. First down and 10. Straight back is Eason. Receivers are covered. There's Harris after him. And Harris trying to hold up over there. If he'd have hit him, he would have drawn a flag. That was outstanding football by 91. Trying to reach his hands and just kind of hold him up over there. Michelle back on the field. And Eason on second and long. Sidearms it. And it's to Michelle, the running back. And that ball was out to about the 42-yard line, still well short of the first down. Kind of sidearmed it to get it away from the rush man.
It was a good job getting it out, at least setting up a more manageable third down. But here we go again, third and obvious passing situations. This will more be like Missouri's old scheme. There's going to be guys pinning their ears back, getting after him. Charles Harris on the last snap was lined up over Georgia's right guard. Now he's back to his traditional position. You see Georgia brings in an extra tight end to help block him.
Eason got time that time and threw a laser.
I don't know if he got his feet down. It was Reggie Davis.
Missouri was signaling that was no good. Reggie was working down there.
Really close, working that comeback route on the boundary.
Out of bounds, but he's got the right.
Yeah, I guess the question is, when does that right foot start to drag? Left foot definitely out of bounds, but was the right foot dragging when the ball hit his hands?
So they called it incomplete on the field. Johnson is back deep on this punt. They bring pressure this time. And Johnson signals for the fair catch at about the 26-yard line. Nice to have you along with us tonight. It's been a heck of an opener in the SEC for both Missouri and Georgia. And snaps it off again this time to Blanton.
Yeah, another one of those run pass options. Run play called, but Drew Lock just saw, look, there's a lot of cushion off of his tight end Blanton. And that's just a look he takes, and they'll take those 9 yards every time.
He's now thrown for 358 yards, coming back with Witter on this second down, and he appeared to get the first down. Forward progress will be marked as into the final minute of the third quarter.
The receivers don't flip-flop, and that's a big reason why they're able to go as fast as they do in tempo.
Lock intercepted at the 40-yard line. Picked off by Mauger. And he is down to the 31-yard line. A penalty flag comes flying. That is the second interception Lock has thrown here in the second half.
After the play was over, personal foul, number 15 on the intercepting team. That's a 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, another example of not being on the same page with his wide receiver on that play there. You're going to get Blacks in the slot, the Alabama transfer. He's down here, and he's going to make it to about this point. Lock thinks he's continuing straight. The receiver breaks it off, actually runs on the inside. That's where Moget, the safety, is able to make this play. He breaks to the middle. Drew Lock threw it up the field. And of course, we had a penalty late. Oof. Late shot on Drew Lock. Doesn't go to the ground. DeAndre Walker.
So Jacob Eason and the Dogs back at about the 47. McKenzie zips for a first down, and he's out of bounds, but Georgia with a great opportunity here.
So Brent, you're having problems running the football traditionally. So number 16 and number 5 some of your other athletes, you got to find ways, creative ways to get them involved, and I think you're seeing that right now from offensive coordinator Jim Chaney.
Meanwhile, Mississippi State with a great late rally against LSU. That's a 3-point game. LSU 23, Mississippi State 20. That's on ESPN2. If you want to take a peek and then come on back, they've got 3:23 remaining in that game. Here we've got a first down and 10, and this is Chubb running wide. Breaks a tackle on the outside. Here's Chubb's best run of the night.
I like them changing it up. That time Terry Godwin.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Was playing quarterback in the Wildcat, trying to give Missouri different looks running the football.
A 6-point lead for Missouri. Godwin hands it off. Chubb does the rest. And the Dogs are within striking distance when you come back to Columbia. The money quarter. Mizzou, an underdog, leading it by 6, 27-21. But Georgia in the red zone with a first down at the 18-yard line. Jacob Eason, 24 of 41, 252 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Michelle will open as his running back goes in motion.
Love it. And everyone focusing on big number 27. So Jim Chaney here has found ways to get these receivers formated and lined up closer to the ball, to get jet sweeps, to get reverses, some wildcat packages. He's using these quick huddles so that Missouri's defense can't get a long look and long picture to what they're doing. Here's Godwin again in the wildcat.
Second down and 4. Michelle's alongside him. Michelle bobbled the handoff. Harris trying to strip him. Could not. He bobbled it momentarily, and Charles Harris was trying to strip it away.
Well, Charles, you know, in this play, Godwin's reading Charles Harris, and he comes off the ball, and he kind of hesitates and flashes inside, and that tells Godwin to give the football off, but Harris just has too much quickness and suddenness. He's been living in Georgia's backfield all night.
Loss of 9 makes it a third down and 13. Throws it high, end zone. McKenzie couldn't get it.
You know, the ball just doesn't look like it's coming out clean for Jacob Eason all night. He's thrown a lot of ducks tonight. We haven't seen a lot of tight spirals in the zip that we're accustomed to seeing. This one kind of floated out of his hand as well. Another underthrow. That's kind of been the theme on these deep shots for Jacob Eason tonight.
So here will come William Ham again. His second field goal of the night. This is 38. Remember, he pulled the 23-yarder. He's more centered up on this one. And he pulls it again.
Wow.
One of those nights. How important is a kicking game? So Georgia unable to take advantage of 2 interceptions thrown by Drew Lock, who's back on the field, and they come with Ish Witter and a powerful 9-yard run on first down.
A little bit more balance now for this offense.
Heupel sticking with it. You wonder if head coach Barry Odom said, okay, let's just saddle up. The offensive line's playing well, and let's see if we can muscle here a little bit.
Yeah, and I think because of all the explosive plays in the passing game and all the shots Drew Lock's taken now, Georgia playing big zones, a lot of DBs on the field.
Ish again breaking free into Georgia territory with a first down.
If you're going to run zone blocking schemes, your linemen have to do a good job of getting off of combo blocks and climbing into the second level and getting hats on linebackers. And this Missouri O-line, they're doing a great job of that on this drive.
Averaging 6 yards a pop, 5 plays. They're just going to stick right with it. Crockett, his best run of the night to the 28-yard line. Walker checks back in defensively for the Dogs here. 2nd down and 5, and basically what Missouri is saying, you got to stop the run. We're going to keep coming, and here comes Ishwitter back into the game for this 3rd down.
And a big substitution here from Georgia now. They're bringing on their best player, I think, on defense, Trenton Thompson, number 78, a guy that we talked about. We haven't mentioned very much. Need him to step up.
Got him fresh if they can rush the passer, if they throw out of this now. This has been a running drive, and they've eaten some time up. They stick right with it. Not much doing. It'll be 4th down.
And Trenton Thompson made that play. He ate a double team. He didn't make the tackle, but he made a play. Ate up the blocks, which allowed his linebackers to make the play. And now Missouri coming in a short yardage situation, bringing on a lot of big bodies here on the field.
And here is Josh Augusta. He's number 97, folks. He's a defensive lineman on 4th down and 1. He lines up. Give it to him. And Augusta got the 1st down, I believe. Hang on now. It's still a fist fight. But I believe it was whistled down.
I don't think he got it, Brent.
I believe if you look across the way at the head linesman, he got it.
Wow.
Okay. The head linesman is giving him the 1st down, Jess.
They're now 4 for 4 when they bring Augusta onto the field in these short yardage situations on the season. That's 360 pounds.
He got it.
That's about 3 Bulldogs, 4 Bulldogs. Trying to slow him down.
See that right there? The ball across the head linesman.
I don't know from
had
that
a good
angle.
view. Well, you can't tell from that angle. Like, come on, guys. Come on now.
The football's low and behind. I'm not sure.
And they stick right with it, with Witter. Thirteen consecutive running plays.
They're slowing that tempo down a little bit now, too. You see now Lock looking over at the sidelines, making sure they get the play in. A different look, play calling, different look in the tempo.
Georgia looking for a stop now. Here's Ishwitter. And they put him into a 3rd down situation. And you have to wonder here if they won't go back to that play action and throw for the 1st time on this drive. Let's see what Heupel wants to whistle up.
This is always that area where, you know, tight ends can be dangerous over the middle of the field. Right now they've got one on the field in Kendall Blanton, number 11. He's lined up in the slot at the top of the screen.
There's that 50, 83, 133 again. And it's a throwing play. First on the drive. End zone jump ball. And jumping forward was Mager, Quincy Mager.
He covered so much ground. This is kind of one of those double moves outside where they're trying to run a slant and go with Jamon Moore, and there's the safety Mager coming in.
Can't see where his foot came down, but he's dragging it. I'll tell you,
that's close.
That is real close. Keep an eye on this one, folks.
I thought real time he made this pick. Kind of bobbled it initially, but then he got his hands back on it.
If he wasn't juggling it,
yeah,
he got the 1 foot down. Instant replay will stop it and take a look at it. If he was not juggling that ball going out of bounds, and I did not see a signal, I believe he got a foot down.
Further review. After review, the player got his foot down, completed interception. Therefore, it's 1st down on the 20-yard line, Georgia.
That's the right call.
What a spectacular interception in the end zone. Gives the Dogs a life.
Well, this defense has kept Georgia in this game. 3 turnovers now in the 2nd half. Missouri is living dangerously. That's their 4th turnover on the game.
But only
They've
one
has
resulted in a score.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is Jacob Eason, the freshman. Complete over the middle, Blazevich.
Love the play call. You're giving your young quarterback an easy completion to get the 2-minute situation drive started. A nice job by Eason, finding the open target, getting it out quickly, and now communicating the next play call, trying to save time.
Now Michelle, a little bit confused, lines up on the left, follows the pulling lineman over to the right, and this will bring up a second down coming up now for Eason.
You don't have to completely abandon the run game at this point either now. With that one timeout in your back pocket. Right here, offensive coordinator Jim Chaney opting to get outside with the faster back in Michelle.
Working against DeMonte Cross, the defensive coordinator. Need 3 for the first down. Throws for the first down. Powerful tackle by Sherrills, the safety, but it is still first down and 10 with 2:30 remaining.
But that's good news because we've seen McKenzie drop some passes. We saw him drop a similar one a few series ago, and tough catch for a small receiver over the middle of the field, knowing he's going to get popped. Nice job securing that catch.
Ball at the 50-yard line. Sideline incomplete. Overled Godwin.
Yeah, they haven't had a lot of success throwing outside. Remember that they've had more success throwing over the middle of the field. Doesn't mean these corners can fall asleep for Missouri. You got to stay locked on to Reggie Davis and Chigbu and Stanley and some of these, and Godwin, these outside guys. Here's Georgia now going back to that quick huddle. See maybe if they can catch Missouri misaligned.
Second and 10. Has to throw this one away. Good pressure by the Missouri front. Brings Georgia to a 3rd and 10 and 51 attempts by Jacob Eason in this game.
I guarantee that was not the plan coming into tonight.
Nick Chubb checks in on this 3rd and 10. He's been held tonight to 63 yards. 3 wide receivers. Harris on the left defensive end. Tries to come around. Throwing deep downfield. Got one-on-one. And it's a penalty. That is interference by John Gibson. That will be an automatic first down and a 15-yard penalty, moving the ball into Missouri territory.
We talked about how the cornerbacks could not fall asleep on these outside receivers.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 5. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And John Gibson, without any safety help, basically almost let Reggie Davis run right by him. He had to hold on to him here at the end, trying to play catch up, gets that left arm tucked around and slaps him right in the face before the ball gets there. That's an easy call.
Might have saved a touchdown. Here's Michelle. Swinging wide, picks his way, cuts the daylight into the red zone.
Michelle is a special player in space. We've seen them try and get him to the outside, to the perimeters, pulling linemen, getting bodies downfield, with just nice vision and nice cutback ability by Michelle.
End zone and incomplete. That was McKenzie working in the end zone against Penton. Fine defensive back, an excellent receiver. So 146, 2nd and 10.
I want to talk about poise as a young true freshman quarterback. Lake Stevens, Washington. On the road, 2-minute scenario. He's been marching his team down. This drive started at their 20.
Eason. End zone incomplete. Overthrew McKenzie. And he was covered again by Penton.
So there's a great matchup now. Missouri has moved their best cover corner, Arian Penton, who normally plays outside. They've now positioned him on the inside to cover Georgia's best receiver, Isaiah McKenzie, one-on-one. It's a good maneuver by DeMonte Cross, the defensive coordinator, trying to take away what Georgia does best in the passing game.
3rd and 10 from the 20-yard line. 1:41. Eason, incomplete, and that was Cam Hilton, who had an interception earlier, jumping the route and knocking it away.
Eason was a little bit late getting to his tight end, Nada. He wanted to work the right side of the field first, came back late. There was Hilton, who had the interception earlier, breaking it up. And here's your ball game. Georgia's offensive line has 2 new guys playing tackle this year. They got a Rhode Island transfer, Tyler Catalina, playing left tackle. Last year's right guard, Greg Pike, is playing their right tackle position. That's where they have Charles Harris now to the field. I think that's a good idea because, Brent, you don't want to let a right-handed quarterback scramble to his right.
4th down and 10.
Try to build that wall.
Eason, McKenzie, touchdown, Georgia.
Jacob Eason got the look he wanted. McKenzie, there's the matchup. Penton, the best corner, brought a big blitz. What a moment for the young true freshman quarterback.
What a moment for this kicker. Nails the extra point after missing 2 huge field goals. William Ham from Macon, Georgia, knocks down the extra point to put the Dogs ahead, 28-27. 1:29 remaining. Missouri with a timeout. This is not over.
That's got to feel good. You wonder how much confidence he had getting ready to line up. Number 2, Isaiah McKenzie had some big drops here in the second half. Nice job by him bouncing back.
Johnson and Crockett are back deep. A short kick. Crockett runs up. 25. And the ball came out. As he came down, the ball came out. There's a scrum. They're saying that he was down and the ball belongs to Missouri. That's what the official is signaling.
Yeah, it looks like
the 120 mark.
Yeah, Ronell Perkins, I think number 3, is able to jump on this. You're right. The right hand in there. The ball comes out. Look at number 3.
Now watch.
Right
Watch
there.
number 3, Perkins from St. Louis, save the day perhaps. 70 yards to the end zone. All they need is a field goal. But they're not certain about their kicking game either. 1st down and 10. Lock's got a man open. Ball is dropped. Did he fumble it? Georgia pounces on it, and they signaled that it was a reception fumble. Briscoe was the man who came over, and he recovered the ball. Mel Tucker on the sideline.
I think that's a fumble, Brent, because Jamon Moore, to me, looked like he took a couple of steps with the ball. And it moved Atcom into the game. Possession 1-2. Yep, that's a fumble, and that's Dominic Sanders, 24, who knocks it out. There's Briscoe, who has a pick earlier in this game, scoops it up. The 5th turnover on the day for the Missouri Tigers. Just too much to overcome. What an ending to this game.
The victory formation. Turnovers the difference. And a gutty performance by Jacob Eason and the Georgia Bulldogs against the Missouri Tigers, who let one slip away. Terrific job of coaching here by Kirby in his first conference game, calmly managing that clock when they were on defense. You don't always see that. Watching it right now as to what to do here. Seconds ticking down.
Brent, I think the Georgia Bulldogs found out a lot more about their true freshman quarterback, Jacob Eason. We thought we were going to see both quarterbacks play. He went wire to wire in a game on the road where Nick Chubb was really not a factor against a pretty good defense. He made a lot of big plays and showed off his talent.
Congratulations to both teams and both first-year head coaches. They battled away. Too many turnovers for Missouri. That is quite clear, even though Georgia was unable to turn them into points, but they still stalled out their own drives with those turnovers. And a sad night here in Columbia. New exciting offense. There are going to be a lot of W's. So we're going to be back with more from Columbia in a bit, but now let's check in with Dari Noka in the studio. Dari, take it away with you and the gang. What a game here.